Hello guys, just doing a video on Prez at the moment. So we're, week 1 into the season right now. I've just done a shuffle push last night and logged on this morning, and I'm sat at rank 1 at the moment, which it will get overtaken. It's not that high, it's just that I think many of the top players probably aren't playing shuffle right now. But it's cool to see the rank 1 there. A lot of people saying Prez is weak, and I actually just disagree. So I think Holy Priest right now is really strong, but it's getting nerfed. I think Resto Druid's really strong, which is getting buffed ironically. But Prez is definitely strong as well, and I think people are comparing Prez versus other healers rather than just looking at Prez's ability to heal the damage in the game. So Prez is strong right now, but a lot has changed. So I don't know if you guys have seen my other video, but right now I am playing Flameshaper, not playing Chrono Warden, and this is the build I'm running. Something to note is I'm running Innate Magic instead of Instinctive Arcana at the moment for the extra essence regen rather than the magic damage, just because as Flameshaper you can get a bit essence starved. The main reason being that all of my damage is actually from disintegrate casts, not from spamming Living Flame. So the rotation is completely different from... Oh, it's not completely different. It is very different in terms of what gives you power as Flameshaper versus what gives you power as Chrono. And something to note is that Prez has this effect on Golden Hour here, where reversion rewinds damage that someone takes. So if you do an Echo reversion, you rewind 30% of the damage they've taken in the last 5 seconds. So when we have a burst meta, like Season 1, Echo reversion is really, really strong. And when we go into a slower meta, like Season 2, Echo reversion becomes weaker. And so you won't heal as much by spamming Echo reversion on a target anymore. It's still effective, but you have to use it to heal back deliberate burst rather than just being like a default go-to, which is it quite often was with Chrono last season. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to go through a video where I 6-0'd a Holy Priest in Shuffle, because I think it's valuable to show that, you know, just because Holy Priest is God spec doesn't mean that Prez just auto loses. You can still win these games. I do think the Holy Priest didn't play amazingly necessarily, but it was a good game anyway, worth showing. So we'll go through that in a second. But I just want to outline like what does the healing as Flameshaper. And something I'm doing with Stasis and Inner Flame. So before, most people would prep their Stasis in the starting room. What I'm doing now is I'm actually using Stasis on my second Dream Breath rotation in the game. So the game starts and I go Echo on Arena 1, Echo on Party 1, Party 2, and then I Dream Breath. That gets my hots up on everyone and starts the game rolling. And then I start healing, for example, Echo Reversion, maybe I'll then do a Verdant Embrace, then I'll do like a Fire Breath or something, look for some damage. And then when I'm coming to my second Dream Breath rotation, I'll use Stasis, and this will then give me Inner Flame, which improves my healing with Dream Breath. I'm just going to turn my game sound down a bit, it's really loud. Improve my healing with Dream Breath, but it also gives me this effect where I generate more Essence Burst, which is then going to allow me to do more damage with Disintegrate. And the reason why my Disintegrate deals so much damage is because of Energy Loop stacking with Titan's Gift to give me 2 35% increases on my Disintegrate damage. You then pair that with the 2 set, where consuming Essence Burst sends forth a Living Flame at your target does 50% effectiveness. And then Twin Flame also goes as well. So when you use a Essence Burst Disintegrate, watch how many damage numbers we're getting here on the one press. We're doing like 100k burst damage just from pressing Disintegrate, which is kind of crazy. So yeah, so one of the main things to monitor, so that's the first thing, is just how I'm using Stasis. I'll just go ahead and detonate that. The next thing to monitor is how much you're using Consume Flame and how much you're piling your, sort of stockpiling your Verdant Embraces. The awkward part about Flameshaper is right now Verdant Embrace does too many things. It is your burst healing, it is your nullifying shroud, and it's your mobility. So one of the things I'm doing is I'm running Tailwind, which basically allows me to have a lot more mobility just off of hover alone, which means I don't need to use Verdant Embrace for the mobility as much. But then the other thing is you do just sometimes you'll have to not nullifying shroud CC just because you need it for healing, if that makes sense. So you can't just Verdant Embrace someone at full HP because you'll run out of healing. So you have to be quite deliberate with how you're healing as Flameshaper, otherwise you'll run out. So if you watch this Echo Dream Breath on a target here, if I Echo Verdant this target, my Dream Breaths get halved. But at the same time, that's going to be like an 80% HP heal. That is literally like lay on hands. When you do that, Echo Dream Breath into Echo Verdant, it's like a lay on hands. You will top someone. But most of the time, I will just do a single Verdant instead with no Echo. Because what that will do is it will do like a 40%, 30% HP heal and give me Nullifying Shroud. And then I don't use as much as my Dream Breath, which means I can continue playing and my Dream Breath keeps ticking over. So you really have to balance of like, do I need to Echo Dream Breath? Do I need to Echo Verdant to top this person? Or can I just use a single Verdant and continue to play? And am I overusing my Verdants? Am I letting someone take enough damage before I use a Verdant Embrace? Or am I just pressing it too loosely and I'm losing all my healing and I'm running out? What's also valuable is to measure your stasis and try and get your like 2 Dream Breath charges back by using stasis. So for example, by using Echo Dream Breath in your stasis, Echo stasis into Dream Breath, so pre-echo the stasis, and then either Echo and then Verdant someone else, or just Verdant straight away. I try not to put an Echo Verdant in here unless I need the burst healing, because what happens is you end up eating your Dream Breaths. And then when that's ended, saying, okay, well now I'll reapply those Dream Breaths. And you can see that that Verdant Embrace goes off over here, which consumes some of the Dream Breaths here. So this Consume Flame thing is what is basically everything you're playing around with your Dream Breath uptime. And now I have 2 Dream Breath charges again, which means I'm nice and healthy for like the next 60 seconds until stasis is back up. Cool. Okay, so that should cover like the main breakdown and stuff. Time dilation, and you can also mini wall someone with Obsidian Scales as Flameshaper. So if I wall right now with Obsidian Scales, I get 30% damage reduction, they get 15%. They also get a reduced effectiveness renewing blaze as well. So you get some good damage reduction there. And then of course time dilation, the same old same old. Time dilation delays damage, it turns burst into damage over time. So what you're using time dilation to do is either use it when you're going into CC or coming out of CC to buy yourself time to recover. So if I'm CC'd for 10 seconds and this person's at 10% HP, time dilation is off global cooldown. So I know I can quickly time dilation and then get my hots back up so that I can start healing this person without them dying, even if they're really low HP. So coming out of CC, time dilation can often be a really good first global to recover someone, but also you can use it if you know you're about to get CC'd. You can put a time dilation on someone. It will delay all that damage they take whilst you're sat in CC, but then you'll have to work overtime when you come out of CC to keep them alive and keep them healthy. So it's important to note when your time dilations are ending so that you can ensure that you're accounting for the bonus damage that they're about to take, because time dilation is now over. Because all that stored damage that is being turned into damage over time will continue to hit them after the time dilation ends. So that should pretty much cover everything. Fire Breath, do you just use it for damage all the time? No, it can be often good to save 1 charge of Fire Breath if you know there's a special effect to purge. But also, when you start a game and you're maybe against a Resto Druid or something, you can do something like full charge Fire Breath and to tip the scales Fire Breath and do some damage. That's going to purge 4 effects on everyone you hit with Fire Breath, and then you'll start burst damaging as well. As Flameshaper, when you Dream Breath or Fire Breath, you have 50% chance to generate an Essence Burst. So using both Fire Breath and Dream Breath can also give you Essence Burst charges. So sometimes you might want a Fire Breath to get an Essence Burst to use an Echo because you've run out of Essence. And then finally, Fire Breath does do some healing through Life Giver's Flame, but it's very minor. So don't rely on Fire Breath as like a heal over time effect. However, it does give some healing. So it's good to know. You can see it here. Cool. Right, that's going to cover everything. I'm going to move into display cap and bring up a video. Has that worked? Lag. Okay, we're moving into this. Hopefully it doesn't lag too much. The lobby we've got is Aphelilock, Asa Rogue, Ret Paladin, and Fire Mage. So I look at this and I think this is potentially quite a damp lobby and something that's quite good for the Holy Priest. The reason why I think it's damp is there's only one person in the game with mortal wounds, which is the Rogue, and also there's a Ret Paladin, and Ret Paladins in Shuffle just generally slow down the pace of the game and usually drag out the rounds really long. Got my coffee and water on standby here. So going into the game, you'll see that instantly I go and put an Echo on both of these targets, and then I'm going to position myself where I can get my full Dream Breath cone on both of these targets to get Echo Dream Breath, and I also get a single Dream Breath for myself. I then go ahead and send a root down the middle of the map. I root the Paladin, just delaying the enemy's ability to start their turn in the game. And I run up and I go for a follow-up Sleepwalk on the Priest. I did this a bit too fast. There's still 3 seconds left on the in-cap. It would have been better to wait longer. But you can see I fake cast this a couple of times. What I'm trying to do is fake the Mage's Counterspell out of stealth, but he doesn't do it. I then make quite a big mistake, which is that I just walk straight into the Ring of Frost. You can't see my cam, but I'm like super surprised right now at how bad I'm playing. Mage goes ahead and pops Combust. My lock CCs him, so there's no stress. Mage use Trinket, and also just with my Echo Dream Breaths at the start, I'm able to sit the CC chain, and my team is healthy enough. You can see there, my lock got low. I instantly time dilationed him coming out of the CC because he was low. I put an Echo on my Rogue, an Echo on my lock, and I'm now going to press Stasis down here. That gives me Inner Flame, which you can see up here, and also my bars down here. And then I'll Dream Breath to start my Stasis. I think my lock Healthstone there to heal. I knocked up the Mage just to disrupt his casts and stop him from playing for a little bit. And you can see I haven't even used any more of my stasis charges yet. I've only used that Dream Breath, and just the Twin Flame healing and a bit disruption and damage that we're doing has kept my team topped. So instead of doing extra healing, you'll see that I'm actually just doing damage and disrupting the enemy team. So I fly over, time dilation, Echo, stasis, Dream Breath, and then I move to being aggressive. I send the Mage over the edge, he blinks back up, and then I'm just doing damage here. Fire Breath, Living Flame to get Essence Burst, and then I'm going to press Disintegrate most likely. There we go. And you can see I'm just doing damage here. I did in between that use my stasis. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rewind to just show you guys what I did in my stasis. So I've got the Echo Dream Breath here. So I use an Echo on the lock. And let's see, what do we do? I'm not too sure. Let's just check this. It'd be useful for you guys to see. So I used something there. I used a cleanse on the Rogue here. So that's what my stasis ended up being. So not an overly powerful stasis, but the main thing in your stasis is to make sure you get a Dream Breath at the start of it, in my opinion. Because if you pre-echo your stasis, you can always echo Dream Breath then. And you can echo Dream Breath your entire team if you put 3 echoes up before popping a stasis. Mage does a wall, I just jump around it, and then I use Verdant Embrace as a gap closer to get to my lock. I pop my stasis. Slight mess up there because I didn't pre-echo it, but we're absolutely fine here. Again, sitting a bit of CC, dispel my Rogue, gets re-CC'd unfortunately, and now I'm just looking to do damage again. My team's healthy, there's no CC on me, I'm on DR and everything, so I'm looking to do damage. Now, I'm going to get CC'd soon. I'll probably try and get my Dream Breaths up or deny the CC. Yeah, so Deep Breath to deny, then I Verdant Embrace to give myself Shroud, and then I get my Dream Breath up. Unfortunately, in the heat of the moment, an awful Dream Breath angle. I have put my Dream Breath over here, where my teammates are here. So if I just twisted my character to the left, it would have been much better. And so right now, this is a dangerous position for me on Prez, because I do not have Dream Breaths on my allies. I have an Echo Dream Breath on my lock, and nothing on my Rogue. So low HPS from me right here. So I actually have walled as well. And put some damage reduction on my lock. You can see I've shifted to a passive playstyle whilst I don't have these Dream Breaths up. Because without those Dream Breaths, we don't have much healing. I played extremely bad there, holy shit. Okay, get polyed. I've pinged that I have Emerald Communion because I'm expecting to commune here and I don't want my teammates to make a mistake. If you guys don't know, in this patch you can ping abilities to let your teammates know that you have them. So if I just rewind slightly, I played this bit really bad. It's kind of sad to look at it on a replay. But I get CC'd here. Is it the Ret Hodge? Yeah. And then I'm actually out of it. I don't even... he's playing Imp. So my lock's playing Imp here. So he actually Imp dispelled me. But I went to ping Emerald Communion. So you can see my cursor down here, the ping cursor. I ping it to let my team know that I have Emerald Communion. I then Verdant Embrace out of the way of the fear so I don't get feared. I dispel my Rogue. And I ended up communing anyway, but my CC got broken. So it was a bad commune overall. I didn't really like how this got played out. You can see the healer no longer has a trinket. My lock is fearing them. When you're playing with a lock, if you're playing with a lock that's good at getting fears, you can quite safely not really look for sleepwalks too much. What I can do is I can look for cross sleepwalks on the Ret Paladin, for example, when the priest is CC'd. But in my experience, if you're playing with a lock that's good at fearing, if you try and sleepwalk the healer, you'll just mess up the lock. And you're better off just letting the lock get the setup so as you do rotational things like damage or healing. So let's see here what happens. I kite out of the way a bit. I think I'm just trying to deny some stuff. We look for a better fire breath angle because that's not a good enough angle. Sit the Hodge. I think we're fine. I trinket actually for some reason. I wonder why. I wonder what I said here. Wonder why I say I trinket here. Let's listen. Weird trinket from me, to be honest, guys. I don't really like that trinket. I think I just did it to play because I had no hots on here and he's got wings and I just wanted to play aggressive. I also land a sleepwalk on the priest and I probably feel like we're in a very high winning position here, and if I just trinket and play, we can probably win, which is why I trinketed. But I don't really like that trinket overall. It's kind of a overly aggressive and wasted trinket and it could put me in a losing position. So I'm not a big fan of it, but it worked out. So hey, we'll take it. So here my team beforehand were talking about playing more passive, and I actually said no, do exactly what you did, just send it, play aggressive. I don't like when my teammates play defensive when I'm playing Prez. For me, it feels really awful. So I fly in there, press overall the priest. I'm assuming the mage is going to get some CC, and he does. I just trusted my mage to get CC there, so we get to an 8-second poly. It's looking good. I should now sleepwalk off of that, and I do. So another 6 seconds. The priest then uses his racial to break out the sleepwalk. I then use my stasis dream breath to start my twin flame healing here. And really, I should be looking for even more damage or more disruption at this point. We tank some CC, get some healing on my mage. You can see some nice burst healing here coming from the Verdant Embrace if I just rewind. So I'm feared. Just one Verdant with one Dream Breath did about half HP there. It's actually crazy. And then Echo Reversions. I probably look for a Bleed Dispel. Yeah, I've used Cauterizing Flame. I actually send a Rewind early here. So another thing, a bit like how I said Golden Hour's weaker at the moment, so is Rewind. Rewind's not that strong right now. And so quite often I'll send it early in a round if my team's just taking a lot of damage, because the tempo that I'll gain from just having a high value Rewind early on is better than trying to heal through it and really struggling and falling behind in the matchup. That said, Trinket Rewind is still quite a big thing of like pairing those two things together and using it to break out a CC chain and then rewind the damage. However, in this situation, I just felt that getting a high tempo rewind off would have been good considering the early damage that we took. Here we tank a fear. They overlap with blind, so the enemy team hasn't played that well. My paladin bops the mage, which I don't really like here. And ended up walling over the top. So my mage is just immortal right now. So recognizing that my mage is immortal, I just go and do damage. The priest is eating all the CC in the world, and I think we just kill through, potentially. Not quite. But we got like every CD at this point. The priest has no trinket, the lock has no wall. I dispel the lock's damage there. My mage is combusting right now. If I just get hots up and play aggressive with my team, we can just overwhelm the enemy right here. So we get a Hodge. I'm watching the DRs, 3 seconds on Incap, 3 seconds on Fear. Nothing for me to do there. I go and attack the lock. I knock him off the pillar. This is really nice. I'm going to rewind this. I remember doing this on stream yesterday. So I knock him off here, down into this crevice. Then the priest has to push. I sleep the priest as he's panicking to get to the lock, so he doesn't death or fade anything. And then I just go for the kill. So most of the time when I'm trying to CC a priest, I will fake fade or I'll fake death. Or I will chain it off something else so that it's guaranteed. However, in a high panic situation in Shuffle, you can often just send CC like this and you will just land it. So in this situation, I knock the lock off. The priest is now panic running towards him to heal him, otherwise he's dead. And I just go for the sleepwalk instantly and I land it. If I don't land it there, it's fine. I'd probably just either recast or I go and do damage. But in this case, I landed it and we just win off it. So it's great. Going into this one again, you can see Echo Dream Breaths getting put up. Rogue again goes for the sap, gets this. I instantly oppressive roar here. I can't actually get anything off of it, which is sad. We get triple feared, which I don't really like how this opener's gone at this point. Verdant Embrace there to heal. So my stasis hasn't been used yet. I'll probably use it in a second now that the Dream Breaths are worn out. So we're just going to watch this here. I'm doing some damage. My mate's taking damage. I echo into the stasis. End up using some weird stuff then and get quite a bad stasis combo. So the reason this is bad is because I ended with the stasis. It ended with the Dream Breath without an echo, I believe. So let's just have another look. It's because something happened and I ended up messing up my combo. So I stasis into a cleanse. So instantly I've messed up slightly here. And then I reversion, so I put a cleanse then reversion into a Dream Breath. I finish with a Dream Breath because I'm like, I need a Dream Breath in this stasis. But I don't really like this stasis. It's very weak and means that if I'm trying to use it to reapply my Dream Breath, I'm only going to get one Dream Breath hot, which I just don't like that at all. So here I'm actually using the cover of the bomb, but no one's out of it anyway. Looking at this priest, he's off via DR, so I should be looking for a sleepwalk of some sort at the moment. I do look for it at the same time the mage does a dragon's breath, so it's DR. The rogue then goes in for a silence and hopefully a stun. Don't think he does, stuns the warlock instead. Nice ice wall. We're just playing to heal here. Knowing my stasis is bad, I actually did an Echo Dream Breath there instead of releasing my stasis. I think my stasis will just time out in a second, yeah. And I'll dispel the mage and then apply a Dream Breath again. Not a big fan of how this round's gone, to be fair, guys. Sleepwalk on the ret here, just delay, slow down the game. I can look for a sleepwalk opportunity on the priest here. But with the ret wings up, we kind of want to be a bit careful. So we're playing a bit back here, haven't got good Dream Breaths up, so I'm just looking for hot maintenance, looking for a bit of damage pressure. When you see they've both got Blessing of Freedom, it's a great opportunity to try and get a cleave Fire Breath, purge both of those Fire Breaths. And also, just like looking back on the game here, my lock has 9 stacks of Wither, my rogue has 9 stacks of Wither, which is the lock's dot. If I dispel the rogue, he would take a lot less passive damage, which would be nice, but it's not a priority. Yeah, so main thing here is I just need to get my Dream Breaths back up. You can see coming out of this CC, my team has no Dream Breaths and so I have no healing. So what I do coming out of this is I time delay the mage to buy myself time, and then I Dream Breath, and then I Verdant, and now my mage is fine. But echoes on both of them, so I'm like sort of like pre-echoed in this sense, ready to like top them when I need to, with 1 global, and I start doing damage to the lock. I need to dispel my rogue, he gets broken out luckily. We get some good damage here. I use rewind to a tempo and I get a triple deep breath and we win. So I'll just show this again. When I'm in a situation like this, you can feel the panic on the enemy team and you can feel the pressure coming out of your team. And basically if you can do some high tempo gameplay, like rewind right here to top the mage so I don't need to worry about healing him, do damage to the lock, and I also have deep breath available and they're clumped up. So that none of them want to stun DR apart from the lock. The lock's in a kidney right now. Priest just got kicked. If I deep breath right here, there's no way they win. Like there's no trinkets. I just deep breath, it's over. So yeah, basically game winning scenario there. If I just rewind after the mage took that chunk damage, it means I don't have to worry about healing the mage and I can do other stuff instead to guarantee the win. Again, I don't think the priest should be positioned like that at all. And that's probably one of the main reasons why the priest lost so many games here. Okay, starting off again, I've started with Echo Dream Breath. My team has great hots. I'm sitting a CC chain, we're completely fine. I actually Verdant the lock off that, which I don't think is necessary, but it doesn't mean I mean some CC, potentially. My lock gets a fear here. We're going to get the stasis combo up. I should really look for DR fear, I think. I actually disintegrate the wrong target there as well. If I disintegrate the mage, it would be much better. I panic commune. My lock got really low. I think he had Healthstone. But I just had visions of dying in the opener. Didn't want that to happen. So I re-echo my lock and stasis. Unfortunately, ports my stasis. So I'm a bit worried about my lock's HP right now. Get walled again. Doesn't matter because I'm a dragon and I can fly around it. Do a bit of damage here, get the triple cleave. Unfortunately I break the fear there, like a dog. Look for the dispel, he gets broken out anyway, I think he trinketed, yeah. He sacks me, so I'm fine. Get the sleepwalk off the Hodge. Slightly extended from the impressive roll. We proc the mage there, so we proc Cauterize. In a good position. Just going to keep doing some damage pressure, keep getting some Fire Breaths and Disintegrates up. Make sure I got my Echo Dream Breath up. I wall the lock. In this situation, I don't think that's a good wall at all. I would actually call that just like a bit of a panic wall more than anything. I think there's no reason to do that. I think I've just recognized that we don't have the tempo here, and so I've used that in probably a bit of a panic. I don't like it a lot. I then trinket rewind, and in this position I'm actually in a really bad spot, and I should lose this round really. I played this round bad at this point and I should probably lose it, but we have a ret. He uses magic bop. Again, the enemy team is all stacked up, which for Prez, I think it's actually quite nice. Prez has a good ability to heal through cleave damage, and it can also deal cleave damage. So I like when people stack as a Prez personally. Yeah. Anyway, we're going back to doing some damage here. We've got a really good position where this is great here. So this is sort of like the saving play to win the game. The priest here is on full fear DR. My paladin's running in for a Hodge. There's no point me trying to sleepwalk the priest. However, the rogue is off fear DR in 0.1 seconds. and my paladin is running in to hodge the priest. So I do a combination of damaging the mage to push for the kill. The mage has no CDs left. And then I cross fear the rogue. You'll see it now. So I start channeling Sleepwalk as my rec gets there. I'm now going to sleep the rogue, so the rogue can't do anything to help the mage, which means the mage is 1v3 right now. Sleepwalk. Priest can't cleanse it, because the priest is CC'd. The rogue could trinket it here, by the looks of things. It looks like his trinket's available, so he could have trinketed it. But either way, we blast the mage is dead. He does actually trinket it in the end, but it's just too late. The mage is dead. He would need to insta-trinket that and then CC someone. But all three of us are pumping the mage there. I alone with... So let's just rewind and look at... This is where the damage of Flameshaper comes in with this build. My disintegrates here, I'm going to do incredible amounts of damage to this mage. So that's one Essence Burst disintegrate. I then Sleepwalk, I Living Flame, get 2 Essence Burst procs, do another Essence Burst disintegrate. So I've probably done around 400k damage there in that combo, which is about half the mage's HP. So even if the rogue CC's the lock there, he has the Ret Paladin pumping and me pumping, that mage is like guaranteed dead there. There's no way. Okay, so moving into this round. This is actually the round that I feel like I should lose the most, composition-wise. This is the worst comp for me in this game. However, it's solo shuffle and comps don't matter as much. I actually lead with a reversion on everyone here, which I don't like. I think this was a mistake. I get instantly broken out the CC. I think again the lock is playing imp. So I think the paladin runs in and hodges me. Or I get feared. I get feared and hodged. And I'm out. Ah, trinket. That's why. Oh my god, I'm so stupid. Anyway. So I trinketed early here because I can imagine in my mindset, I'm like, I haven't got dream breaths on. I know exactly. Guys, I've got a really bad habit right now, right? But basically, I press stasis, which means I have twin flame running with no hots up, which means it does nothing. And when this happens, I like tilt trinket all the time. So they overlap fear and hodge, so I know that nothing's really going to CC me anymore after I trinket. So I just trinket early game, and I get my dream breath up and I start playing. I oppressive roar, they get CC'd forever. The priest uses Will of the Forsaken. I get 4 seconds stun on both the DPS into a 4-second resleep. They're getting banged. Rogue uses cloak, and you can see here the tempo I got just from that early trinket. Even though it's not a good trinket, and I don't really recommend anyone trinkets like that. Actually, trinketing that overlap of CC that the enemy team did means I get a lot of pressure. Again, the priest's positioning is really bad here, guys. You see healers positioning like this at the moment. This is usually when a healer becomes overpowered. You will see people playing it like this. It's not great. So my lock gets stunned here. I just do a Echo Verdant on top of my Echo Dream Breath, and I completely top his health bar. He Dark Packs coming out of it. I fell off the map, of course. And then I struggled to get up the ramp, because who hasn't struggled on Cage of Carnage? Again, I come out of that fear. I'm pretty sure the lock dispelled me there with his imp. So his lock's kind of clutching here, guys. His lock's kind of the goat. I take the gateway just to get away from all of that. I don't really want to be in the mix of that because they're double melee. If I'm playing from range here, I can deny a lot more stuff that they want to do to me. You can see I'm quite often putting these double fire breaths up throughout this entire lobby. I send the commune here. Just want to keep my team healthy. In freeze, I'm much more greedy with commune. I'm a bit more loose with it in shuffle because often people overpress if you hold it too much. But let's just have a look at this breakdown of how we won this game here. So mage is combusting, lock is malevolencing. We have full send, full damage right here. The priest is in a 4-second sheep at the moment. I'm gonna hodge. I commune, keep my team healthy whilst they're popping. I don't want them playing defensive right now. We can win the game if they play aggressive. Rogue gets an M-bop. So we can't really kill anything right now. I believe the Pala has bubble still as well. And then as they push, this is crazy, man. The lock gets a fear off of this. So he ports, full fears the priest. And then these two run across the map to the lock. I get a double fire breath into disintegrate. Don't forget I got twin flame bouncing on them as well. And then the lock howls them, and they're just getting completely blasted. We've got offensive CDs used by both my team here. We're healthy. My lock has double dream breath on him. I'm not worried about my lock at all. So I just unleash the damage potential and they just get completely cranked, bro. Meanwhile, Priest is full CC'd with no trinket. The reason the Priest is struggling so much is because of his positioning. So if you guys don't really understand positioning, a simple way to think about positioning in WoW is you need to be... it's all about thinking who you want to interact with and what spells you want to interact with. Every spell has a range in WoW. And most spells need line of sight, right? So you want to be out of line of sight of things you don't want to interact with, or out of range of things you don't want to interact with, and you want to be in range and in line of sight of things you do want to interact with. When you're playing defensive, you are typically playing maximum range and only interacting with things that are defensive for you. And when you want to play offensive, you are playing more aggressive positions that allow you to interact with things that are more aggressive for you, such as Priest, for example. When Priest is playing aggressive, it will want to position in melee so it can land fear. When Priest is playing defensive, it will want to be at 40-yard range, 46-yard range in some circumstances. Anyway, get into this one. Again, we start with the Echo Dream Breath on everyone. My rogue is taking it here. He cloaks early. I've noticed that he cloaks early in the other round, so I held everything there. Get the Echoes up, do my Stasis combo, Verdant on top of that. I quite often do this at the moment, where I Stasis Dream Breath into a single Verdant into an Echo, which I quite like as a Stasis combo because it doesn't consume all of your Dream Breaths, but it does add some burst on your Stasis. And then it sets you up with an Echo if you're out of CC to then just do something else like an Echo Reversion, which allows you to heal some more burst without the cost of your Dream Breaths. So moving into it, somehow we've already got trinkets off the Priest. He's just angeled. He's in trouble right now. Fear on Pala, do I dispel this? You want to always be looking to dispel your teammates as soon as possible. So I instantly dispel the Pala there. We're going to get some healing up. We've got lots of Essence Burst here. With this Essence Burst, I'm looking to do some damage. You can see here my Essence Burst self-chained with the tier set. My tier set triggers a Living Flame, basically, when I press Disintegrate. And what's happening here is I press... I'm just getting like self-chained Essence Bursts. So I'm just doing like infinite damage here. It's crazy. And a deep breath, and we've just won the game already. Like there's no way we lose this. Well, I say that. My Paladin trinket bubbles aggressively, which actually then puts us in a bad position. When I say there's no way we lose this, and we've won already, I don't mean that we've won the game. I just mean that we're in such a heavy winning state. Like there's no way we should lose because WoW is a game of like trades, and we'd won all the trades at this point. And then my Paladin aggressively bubbles when we can't actually kill. Because Holy Priest healing is very high. So unless the Holy Priest actually CC'd, we're not going to kill people realistically. A lot of clans are good fear. They got Combust up right now, so I want to play defensive in some way. Time delay the rogue to deny the Mage Burst. And I'm also playing on this pillar from the Mage to deny how easy it is for the Mage to CC me during his damage. I can heal through this damage. It's not a problem. But if he CCs me, then it becomes a problem. So I'm playing on this box and I'm playing around it. The Mage then blinks back over here. He looks for a Polymorph on me. I immune it with Verdant. We overlap play and rewind, which isn't ideal. And then I also trinket this. But at this point, I get an Abrasive Roar onto the healer. He does get Imp dispelled there, I believe. I eat some CC, but we're in such a winning state, I don't think it's that much of a problem. I was just blasting the lock with Disintegrates. Verdant, detonate my Dream Breaths. I cast a Sleepwalk greedily. Do my Stasis combo. Don't quite get it off yet. Do I dispel the Pala here? I should. I don't. Wow. Report me, guys. Yeah, like dispel them. Just messing with the Mage, stopping his casts. I should be casting damage here. If I cast Disintegrate earlier, I would have won this game. Instead, I try and perfect time the Sleepwalk. I mistime it, and we'll win anyway. I should have... Look here, this is one of my biggest mistakes at the moment, and something I'm trying to work on. During this 5-second Hodge, if I just Disintegrate this lock, we would win. I have 2 Essence Bursts. I can do about 400k damage here. He has 500k HP. All I need to do is target the lock and Disintegrate twice, and we win. Instead, I try and perfect time the Sleepwalk. Look at this. 0-0 on my DR tracker. My Sleepwalk's coming, and it says immune. Oh, come on. So it was obviously slightly off on the DR tracker. Obviously, that would have been nice if I landed the perfect Sleepwalk, but I can just kill this guy. I can literally just blast this lock into the next game, which I do at the end there. Brilliant stuff. Alright guys, I hope this has been useful. And if you want to check out my stream, come to twitch.tv/EliteDammit. I'll put the link in the description. I'll be playing lots of Prez. I'll be doing some ults as well. It's worth me doing a bit of Holy Priest, worth me doing a bit of Wrestler Druid. Just making sure that I'm meta capable. But I'm going to be playing Prez as main. So peace. Thanks for checking out the video. See you guys next time.